What is going on, everybody? And welcome back to the second episode of The Jets Ward. I am your host, Ryan Ward, and today there's been a lot going on in the Jets world. Jets finally got their new GM, Darren Muge, who has been in the league for a total of 15 years to this point, all with the Broncos. He is somebody who's held in high regard in the NFL as a whole. Has had experiences with multiple different regimes in the Denver Broncos organization. He's been there for a while, only still 39 years old. And finally, we have brought him into our organization. To start this, I really didn't know much about Darren Muge to start this GM search for the Jets. When we interviewed Thomas Dimitroff, he was my top guy because of all the experience he had with the Atlanta Falcons. Was able to build them up, brought them to a Super Bowl. Unfortunately, that was the 28-3 Super Bowl against the Patriots. Still breaks my heart because I did not want to see Brady win another one. But anyway, Darren Muge has been working with the Denver Broncos for the past 15 years. He started from the bottom as a scout, has worked himself all the way up through their organization to this past year being the assistant GM for the Broncos, which is very, very good for him because, like I said, he's been through many different regimes, and Sean Payton really, really likes this guy as well, has nothing but good things to say about him, unlike the former head coach of the Denver Broncos when Sean Payton came out and said that Nathaniel Hackett was no bueno. So with Darren Muge as well, something that I found very interesting when doing more research with him or about him, he was one of the people in the room when Nathaniel Hackett was hired. He was one of the people yelling the loudest to not hire him. He actually wanted to go with his college roommate or college teammate, Kevin O'Connell. And as we know, you can see how he's doing with the Minnesota Vikings at this point. So let's talk about this. Darren Muge, background as a scout, assistant GM, something that is really, really important for the general manager position because you gotta be able to evaluate talent, whether it be college kids, college players coming up, or NFL players. So he's done both of those. And pair him with Aaron Glenn, who also has a background in scouting. This could be a very strong tandem, which is something I think would be very, very refreshing for our beloved Jets. Now, both Aaron Glenn and Darren Muge, both first-timers in their positions. I still think the Jets should hire a VP of President of Football Operations or a President of Football Operations. Thomas Dimitroff might be able to fit that position. Woody Johnson, maybe. But I still think that would be something very positive, or keep Phil Savage in the organization. He's done a lot and made our interim general manager. Maybe give him a promotion to VP of Football Operations. I think that would be beneficial for him too, just to have somebody with experience to help guide our two young first-timers. Now, with this as well, we have a whole lot of stuff coming up with this. We got to figure out what we're going to do with Garrett Wilson. Please resign him, Muge. Please. We really want him back. We also got to figure out Jamien Sherwood. He's going to be a free agent this offseason. He was one of our leaders on our defense. We need to bring him back as well. Got to figure out what we're doing with Aaron Rodgers. If Aaron Rodgers comes back, or if he retires or goes somewhere else, quarterback position is going to be a big thing. So Darren Muge comes into a position where there's a lot of stuff on his plate right away. But with how respected and how well he looks at talent and can scout talent, NFL and college, I think the Jets are going to be in really good hands. We don't know that for sure, but I have a lot of confidence in this guy. I'm really excited to see what he does for our Jets, how he works along with Aaron Glenn. I'm really excited to see what this tandem can do. Hopefully soon we get to see who our coaching staff is. Clint Kubiak or Nick Caley, please, as our OC, and Steve Wilks as DC, please. And maybe Chris Banjo as our special teams coordinator. He's somebody who's been talked about a lot when it comes to Aaron Glenn, so that could be a solid one. Welcome to the New York Jets, Darren Muge. We are excited to see what you can do with us, and please bring us some winners. That's all we can ask. Thank you so much. If you are somebody who has subscribed already or has been here already, thank you for coming back. If you are new here, I appreciate you being here with me. One thing I want to do before we leave as well, I want to give a shout out to MH Jets Fan 83. He has a podcast known as the Jets State of Mind. He does a really good job in his podcast. He goes through everything Jets related, even anything outside the Jets as well he has knowledge about. Please make sure you watch his videos, subscribe. On Monday, he is going to be putting up an episode on his podcast about the Aaron Glenn and Darren Mugi welcoming interviews. So please subscribe to him as well. And I also want to give a shout out and show my appreciation to Buffalo Jets Fan and Jets Central. Both of them subscribed. I've been talking to them on Twitter a lot of the time. I really appreciate them. They are the OGs of Jets content. I really appreciate them for commenting and showing support for this channel as well as we begin to grow. Thank you guys so much. And let's keep rooting for our Jets, Jets. Thank you again. And thank you for joining me in the Jets Ward.